Hello and welcome to Cooking with William. My name is William and today, chocolate silk pie. Before we get the recipe, we need to talk about eggs. Now this recipe does have raw eggs. If that scares you, I have a little trick for you. It does require a sous vide. What we're going to do is cook the eggs at such a low temperature that it kills the bacteria without cooking the eggs. First, fill a large pot or box with water. You want it to be all the way to the top and to be above the minimum line on your sous vide. Next, set your sous vide to 135 degrees and let it heat up before dropping in your 3 eggs. I would recommend using a spoon to lower them extremely carefully because they can break when they hit the bottom, and that will just make a mess that you do not want to clean up. Let your eggs cook in the 135 degree water covered in plastic wrap so it does not evaporate for about 2 hours. Once they're done cooking, you're going to want to use some sort of metal spider to carefully remove the eggs and place them in a bowl of ice water to stop the cooking. At this point, your eggs have been completely pasteurized. There is no longer a risk of salmonella when eating these raw, so they are perfect to use in this recipe. Speaking of this recipe, we will need a 9-inch pie pan and a pie crust. Feel free to make your own. I am going with the store-bought crust because you can honestly not tell the difference. You're going to want to carefully roll it out and push it into your pan, being careful not to create any tears or holes in the crust. It should look like this, and then you will take it and place it in a 375 degree oven for 8 to 9 minutes, or until fully cooked and golden brown around the edges like this. Now we need to set up our stand mixer with a whisk attachment. I would highly recommend using a stand mixer if you have it. This can be done with a hand electric mixer, but you will see why this is very helpful later in the recipe. To the bowl of our stand mixer, you're going to want to add 1.5 cups of room temperature softened butter, along with half a cup of white sugar and half a cup of brown sugar. Whisk on medium-high speed until well combined and it starts to get a lighter, fluffier texture. At this point, you're going to want to scrape down the sides of the bowl, add in a few teaspoons of vanilla paste or vanilla extract, and a pinch of espresso powder. This will simply amp up the chocolate flavor. It will not make it taste like coffee. Whisk that again on medium-high speed to combine. Then, add your melted chocolate. This is 3 ounces of baker's chocolate that I just melted in the microwave, and then you'll add a pinch of salt also to bring out the chocolate flavor. Whisk that until well combined and the chocolate cools off so it does not cook your eggs. Speaking of eggs, once everything is mixed together, we will add 1 egg and then whisk for a full 5 minutes before adding the next egg, and then a full 5 minutes after that one as well. It is very important to whisk for the full 5 minutes between each egg, as that is what gives the pie its smooth and silky texture. You'll notice as it's mixing that the mixture seems to want to separate. The 5-minute whisk is what keeps it all together and makes it look silky smooth just like this. Imagine trying to hand whisk this for 15 minutes straight. Once your pie crust is cooled and your filling is mixed, pour it into your pie crust and spread it out with a spatula or the back of a spoon until smooth. Finally, top with flaky salt. This is the most important ingredient in this entire dish. If you do not have flaky salt, use kosher salt, but do not skip adding a little bit of coarse salt to the top of this pie. It really brings out the flavor. Now we can set this in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours or until fully set. This gives us plenty of time to make a homemade whipped cream. I will be making a salted caramel bourbon whipped cream, starting with about a cup of heavy whipping cream, a teaspoon or so of vanilla paste or vanilla extract, about a tablespoon or 2 of powdered sugar to start, and a few ounces of salted caramel bourbon. Whisk on high speed, checking every 20 seconds or so, and adding powdered sugar until desired sweetness is achieved. Keep whisking until you reach stiff peaks. Now we can start plating up our pie. After the hours spent in the fridge, the pie is now set. It is silky smooth and has almost a custard texture, and it tastes deliciously like chocolate. This recipe will give you a new appreciation for flaky salt. But now, time to serve. I like to cut it into about 1/12 of the pie, plate it up, and top with some homemade salted caramel whipped cream. Now you have chocolate silk pie. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please Please remember to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments section what you would like me to cook next time and what I could do better. As always, this recipe can be found on my website, wehmusic.com, or in the link in the description.